Howdy, it's arrived. It's here. Bloodborne The Board Game. I cannot actually express how excited I am. So much so that I'm not even going to ramble. I'm just going to start getting it open. I'm going to do a bit of rambling because I always like to give a bit of background. This is by Simon, C-M-O-N, however you pronounce it, and designed by Eric Lang, who I love Cthulhu Death May Die for, and Michael Sinhall, I believe his pronunciation. And big fan of the video game, big fan of the theme, and I know I'm going to love this. And I even want to show you the back. Okay, so it's cooperative. This is a cooperative, almost dungeon crawler-esque campaign game where you go through the Bloodborne universe, discover the lore, establish what's happening, get a little bit of an insight into the madness, fight beasties and an infection, and inevitably die lots because it is a Bloodborne, Dark Souls come board game mashup, if you will. Bloodborne is renowned for being incredibly difficult, but in the sense of Dark Souls is difficult in the you try, you get better gradually, but there's no real save points or safety nets. Oh, it's so exciting. But with that, Bloodborne is more of an aggressive play style, whereas Dark Souls was not. Ah, it's open! Okay, so we have an advertisement for Come On, get it here. There's your free QR code if you fancy scanning that. And then we have some rules. Oh, it just looks so pretty. I love it. Okay. Overview is a cooperative game for 1 to 4 players in which players take on the role of hunters, deadly warriors, venturing forth into the city of Yharnam to combat horrific monsters, discover mysteries, and unearth long-kept secrets. Bloodborne is played as a campaign, a series of 3 individual but interconnected games called chapters. There are 4 campaigns in this box, so 12 games effectively, I think. Over the course of each campaign, hunters will grow in skill and power. Players will uncover unique story, should they survive long enough. There you go, table of contents. There's all the components, the board. I'm hoping those minis are not only massive, but so detailed. Cards, lots and lots of tokens. I imagine there's going to be baggies provided. The campaign setup, hunter board. Each hunter is unique as well, which is cool. Chapter setup, an example of how it should look. You have like a big controlling board. Advancing through the hunt. Playing the game round, hunter round. Lots for the hunters to do. Enemy activations. I believe they can move from room to room as well. They can like chase you down, which is cool. Starting a new round. Resolving combat. Trick weapons, which are a massive element of Bloodborne, because your weapon can start out as this small, quick, nimble sword, and then you use the trick element of it to make it into this massive hammer. Boss enemies, NPC counters. Progressing the campaign, additional rules. Glossary, iconography, and credits. Beautiful. Very, very light look at that because I am so excited to get into this. Okay, so we've got a punch board of, it's not going to focus, is it? There we go. Of pretty decent quality. How nice is it to punch? Oh, you know it's a good punch board when you get a snap. I'll do that later when I can get frustrated of my own accord. And then we have the room tiles, which again do just fall out. And you've got different areas, you've got the lines to separate the different bits. Enemy attacks suffer -1 advancement on this tile. So they've all got modifiers as well, so it could be pick and choose your battles depending on where you are. Got some more, and some more, and some more, and some more. And then we've got the big board, which is much like in Cthulhu Death May Die, just a large piece of very reinforced, really nice material. It's almost plasticky. A sheet. I have got 3 other boxes over there, which I'll unbox in a different video, but it is a basis of, I just want to get the core game open. But those will add so much more enemies, more campaigns, etc, etc. And, ooh, I didn't expect this. How do I get this out? Do I have to... What is going on? Oh, No, we weren't meant to do that because there's an insert there. I couldn't get it out. I should pop these back real quick and then we'll try and establish how I was meant to get this big meaty box out. Oh man, what on earth? Yeah, so, okay, so we've seen all the components. I don't need to go through any of those now. Oh, jeez. Okay. Scooch on over for a second. So there is a lot in here. Do those go there? Do those go there? Oh man, I don't know. Oh, I feel like I've ruined 50% of the surprises for myself now. Hunter dashboards in different colours, respective of. Those are the different hunters. Here are some big cards. Oh, let's put this to one side. Let's put this here. Let's put this so it's the right way around. And slide out whatever is hiding in there. Okay, so we've got a double tray, but it's almost like a tray and a half. We have a little tray there, and that is just the plastic to separate it. So let's kick off with these. We've got our player rings in your standard colours. Didn't really know what to say there. Then we've got some of the hunters. So we've got the Hunter Axe Hunter. Can I get this to focus nicely? To be fair, you're not going to see a face because it's wearing a mask. But that, I feel, is gorgeous. I'm wanting to get into painting miniatures, so this will be one of the like end game sort of focuses. The Threaded Cane Hunter. Yeah, look at that detail. Look at the cannon. Oh. And the Saw Cleaver Hunter. This is your more traditional hunter. This was the one that was like the staple element of the game. And I don't think is this Ludwig's Holy Blade Hunter? Oh, a bit bent. But I'm sure I can sort that, a bit of hot water. I'll get that sorted. It's like wrapped round a red. I can sort that, it's not an issue. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Right, let's start looking. We've got Father Gascoigne, or as he was known on the Reddit forums, Papa G. One of the first bosses you can encounter, and his transformed form. Look at the detail. I could spend ages just looking at these models. I will now start to just quickly sift through these. So we've got some beasts, mob enemies that just come at you in hordes, some more advanced beasts. Again, they just come at you in hordes to try and take you out as quickly as possible. Scooch that to one side. Start the engine to bring this one over. And we've got quite a fair bit here. We've got a mob of Yarnamites. I like how they sit as well. We've got a half-beast brick-wielding bruiser. And yes, he does just attack with the brick. He is weighty as well, by the way. He has got some real thickness to him. He is solid through. Some beasts. One of the first things you fight in Bloodborne. And it does just absolutely annihilate it, serve its purpose. We've got a blood-starved beast, which I don't feel like the model does this one justice. Not because of the model's actual physicality, you know, the actual visuals look phenomenal. But all this is supposed to be its flesh that's come off its back. All that should be like a raw red and green and other disgusting colours. Hope you're not eating your dinner. That. Then we've got, I believe this is a member of the Healing Church. He's naughty. I like his hat. Some large members of the Healing Choir. Again, Like with Brick Boy, this guy's absolutely solid. He weighs a lot. And then we've got Vicar Amelia in a transformed version. Again, absolutely solid all the way through. And we've got the actual, surprise you, because it's the biggest model here, the first boss, the Cleric Beast. Look at the actual quality that these, look at those hairs just going down it. I think that is absolutely well and truly worth the wait that I had. I was not one of the first backers, but I backed this as soon as I knew that I could fund it. I am a big fan of the theme regardless, and I think the models are really done justice here. But this is the bit where I have to bring this box back over and we have a quick sift through some of these, because these are the bits that are going to make the mechanics work, and it's alright me fanboying over all of those. If they don't work within this stuff, that's going to be the point. So we've got the 4-player boards in respective colours according to the rings, which is quite handy. Your HP, your blood echoes. Blood echoes are like your funds. You kill stuff, you get your money, it goes there. Firearm is your secondary weapon. Trick weapon is the one that you will use to fight enemies, and the transformed element will be done through these. So we have Ludwig's Holy Blade. So you've got two versions of this. You have the standard version, which is where you have the sword. And then the trick version, where it's two-handed and is that big meaty thing. In the same way you've got the... Oh, they just flip that way, do they? Hunter Axe in a smaller version. Hunter Axe in a bigger version. Threaded Cane in a longer version. It's still in single-handed, but it's quicker and smaller. And the same for the Sword Cleaver. Longer blade, shorter blade. Move those out of the way for a second. And we'll have a look at some of these. I don't want to look at these. And the reason I don't want to look at these is because these are going to be the different campaigns. 1, 2, 3, 4 is what I'm going to run on. These are items. I'll crack open one of those. And these are stat cards. I'm sorry for not putting it in front of the camera. The camera's in a different position to normal. I've got a new table and I'm still getting used to everything being on here. Crack open this to start off with. We'll have a look through some of these. Okay, here we go. We've got some player aids to kick off, which are double-sided. So you've got effect keywords, which is almost like a mini glossary, which is very handy. And the actions around summary, the Hunter's Dream, which is where you'll go to level up and heal yourself, look after yourself, give yourself new stats or improve your equipment. It's also where you go if you lose and die. Attacking and reward cards. So put those back to one side. Then we've got different enemy cards, and these are going to be used as reference, not on the board, because they will link directly to the models. So let's go for male and female patient beasts, because they are identifiable. So those were the ones with the hoods, the mob enemies. Double-sided. And I don't exactly understand how they switch between. So you've got this one on a basic swipe. Claw swipe. So they're just different versions of... I know they can switch between, because there's a big thing in the game where after a certain amount of damage or fighting, things will... They'll lose their temper a bit, and they do switch out into some sort of frenzy mode, or they lose control or become more strong. Church Beast, Reckless Swing, Special Execute, cannot be staggered. If dodged, Hunter's attack deal +1. So imagine that's the basic one. And that's the special one. Okie dokie. And then what have we got? Bosses. Right, let's crack these. Okay. So what we've got here is the bosses, and they apparently come in phases. So we have phase 1, phase 2. So when they're calm, collected, all together, to when they lose their mind and go absolutely ham on you. And it's the same for all of them, even for the enemies that transform. So Farvgasco in phase 1, phase 2, phase 1, phase 2, you should be fighting him for longer. And then we have some hunter items, and they are associated to specific hunters, as you can tell by the actual pictures. And that's when they're not, and that's when they are just acquired. Hunter Blunderbuss, Evelyn, Flame Sprayer, Cannon, Ludwig's Rifle. Yeah, the cannon on this one is not got a picture on, so that is just anybody can grab it. The pictures on the actual cards, I assume, are just for player reference on when you're setting up this cannon goes to that hunter. So let's have a look at Flame Sprayer. May be used to make the following attacks. Stagger, deal 1 damage to enemies. May be used to make the following attack. A forward attack with 3 blood. Discard 2 cards to refresh. When an enemy moves into your space, deal 2 damage to enemy. So it's a case of you have to reload. That's what the flip is to say you've used it. Okay. Starting to get to grips with stuff a little bit more. We'll have a quick look at 2 more decks. I really don't want to open those ones. And I don't want to open them for myself either. It's not like I'll do it off camera. I just really want it to be a big surprise. You know, considering that it is a campaign game. So we have different types of cards here, indicated by regular bottoms and red bottoms. Hopefully no one here has got a red bottom. So these are then categorized into different colours. I'm imagining that the colour indicates, oh, special. Oh, the special will be their special. Indicate how deadly they are. So if we skip through some of these and go for this one, Cleric Beast moves. And we've got some in red, some not. So the red ones might be phase 2. So grab and toss, jumping smash, recovery, all phase 2, all phase 2, phase 1. So that's just grab, and that's grab and toss. So that one's just a stagger, and this is a stagger and a stun. So the red ones are going to be for that phase 2, so that is when it's going to get things are going to get a little bit more, bit spicier. But are these just for bosses? They are, so enemies must have programmed behaviour within them as well. Okie dokie, I am feeling really overwhelmed by all this content. The game looks like it's going to flow into itself really nicely. These cards should drive the actual story, but I'm not sure how. I'm going to have a good read of that. So this has almost become just an unboxing to look at components, which is really what it should be. And I know I ramble and go on about the theme and I get really passionate about everything, but trying to be objective, quality of the components, stunning. That box trying to get out of this box, awful. It's a tipping that upside down to get it out. Quality of these bits, fantastic. Cards feel really, really robust. The symbolism on them looks quite tricky to understand initially, but I'm hoping that it is one of those you just understand what the forward arrow means, what the grayed out arrow means, what the different colours mean, because you know the enemies have different phases. But that is just about all I'm going to do. I'm not going to open those 3. I'm going to try and keep everything as much as a surprise. If I do open these 3 and they are nothing, I'll probably go through the same style of cards in the other 3 unboxings, but that will be a lot quicker looking at components only. Anyway, thank you ever so much for sticking around for this long. I know I have rambled during this one and my excitement has no doubt been sickening. But if you can tolerate it, thank you ever so much. Catch you next time.